Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and it is time for the latest installment in the Thrift Store series. I just like build to a. I think this is the 24th entry in the Thrift Store series. 24 videos about thrift store findings, about media that other people didn't want. They donated it. We were there and we swooped it up. This was unplanned, and everything here. We got some movies, we've got some music, we got vinyl, we've got CDs, we've got DVD, we got Blu-ray. All of this was today. I was working kind of outside of my normal market, the day job, and I was like, I haven't been in this thrift store in a while. It's been like 3 months since I've been in this thrift store. So I go in and pay dirt, mother load, payload mother dirt, and it buoyed me. It was kind of a small visit, but I was like, the stuff that I found I was really happy with. They had 8 tracks there. Now listen, I'm not an 8-track collector. I have no way to play them now. Sidebar, my first car was a 1974 Laguna Chevelle S10, and it had an 8-track player in the glove box. And if memory serves, it worked, but there was an aftermarket tape player in there, which tells you the era that we're talking about. And I had put a CD player in there eventually as well. But I now understand 8-tracks are an inferior technology. There's a documentary called So Wrong They're Right about 8-track collectors. Look it up. That's a fun one. I've got it on DVD somewhere. It came with a magazine in like 2002, maybe 2001, somewhere in there. So I don't have an 8-track player, but it's seeing all these 8-tracks. I was like, man, I wish I had a home to give to these. However, they were $2 each, and that's just insane because that's a dead technology. Listen, people may still love 8-tracks. I think that's a dead technology. I don't think that cassettes in general, not an archival medium because it's magnetic and that's going to erode and go away. Anyway, I saw my first scanner scalper today. People have talked to me in the past, like comments and stuff. People have talked to me about scanner scalpers at the thrift store. I've never seen one. I saw one today. I took his picture because screw that guy. Screw that guy. If I had his social security number, I'd give it to you. If I had his mailing address, I'd get that too. They have scanner devices connected to their phone, and I guess you set parameters in a program, scanning literally every single UPC, just rapid fire, scan, valuable, put it in a cart, valuable, put it in a cart. And to that, you know what I want to do? I want to do that. That's what I want to do. You know what? That's a little aggressive. I want to do that across the bottom. How about that? Just spanks on the bottom for your filthy, rude, selfish behavior. Scalpers, you're not doing anybody any favors. You're not providing a service. You're literally taking things away from people that want them and putting money in your pockets. If you want to do it, own what you're doing. Okay? You can't be like, I'm providing a service, man. I'm helping it get out there. No, you're not. You're being greedy and you're putting yourself over other people. Own it. So I saw this guy and I did take his picture and I do not feel bad about it. I may blur his face out just to prevent any sort of not copyright, but YouTube infringement of privacy or something like that. But let's just jump right into it. This is the first thrift store. This is the one that was kind of small, but I think you're going to see pretty good stuff. We got 2 CDs and what the kids call a vinyl. 2 CDs and a record. What do we get? You know what? I'll lead with the best one. The Ramones, greatest hits in a thrift store. And it really looks, man, there's a hair on it. It really looks like it's brand new, right? So I was really excited to see this. I was like, they had a whole stack of CDs there. Normally when you see these CDs, it's like a lot of like Christian rock from the 80s and the 90s and a lot of country. Maybe it's just my market. Probably just my market, but that's what they had. I also grabbed the Bangles greatest hits. This one is not nearly in as good of shape, but I don't have anything by the Bangles heretofore. So now I have, Manic Monday, Walk Like an Egyptian, Hazy Shade of Winter. They had some good songs. These were $1. So here's a conversation that comes up a lot. People say physical media is... Let me think. So we have a video, is physical media dying? I think that's the name of the video that I chose. And it continues to be kind of a big performer for Cereal at Midnight. People that watch that video say, well, of course physical media is dying because people don't want this stuff anymore. That's why it's dirt cheap at the thrift stores. All my thrift stores are going back up. It went down. This is for the scalper. It went down and then it's starting to go back up. I've seen CDs bottom out at around 50 cents, $1. It's all going back up. So that's a sign to me that the physical media market is not only dead, is not only not dead, it's alive, but it is resurging. It is growing again because people are starting to realize, wait a minute, I'm paying money for Spotify and I don't own this music. And when my Spotify subscription, like, I don't want to pay this for the rest of my life. And we're at a subscription service tipping point, I think, or we're going to be there soon where people just are at, like, I'm tired of paying for subscription services. And they know they can go get it dirt cheap. Guys, I picked up a Linda Ronstadt album, What's New? All about the Ronstadt right now, because of course I watched the documentary, The Sound of My Voice. We did there's a video review for that here. I think it's in our Music Palooza Volume 2. And whether you're interested in Linda Ronstadt or not, you got to see that documentary. It's fantastic. Just as a snapshot of musical history, it's fantastic. But she was such a maverick, and I was not aware of what a maverick Linda Ronstadt was. I knew some of her hits, but I was not aware of kind of the behind-the-scenes pioneering that she did, and just being a boss, really. So I'm all about Linda Ronstadt. I'm finding here's the thing, millions and millions of Linda Ronstadt albums out there, and a lot of them, because there are so many of them, they're like $1, $2, $3. I don't think I've paid more than $3 for a Ronstadt album, and now I've got like 8, I think. This was $1. Which is a great price for a thrift store record. So I just want to say that. This is the stuff she did with Nelson Riddle. This is the kind of orchestral sort of a callback to an earlier kind of music. So I wrap up this thrift store. That was like $3. And I was like, sweet, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And I was like, there's another thrift store just a little up the road. Haven't been there in a few months. Let me try my luck. This is what I came away with. So lots and lots of good stuff here. I'm just going to reach in here and we'll do it at random. You're not going to believe some of this stuff. Lucille Ball, Mame. Do we say it's not Mammy, right? It's Mame. Either way, it's a Lucille Ball movie. This is the Warner Brothers DVD, 2002. This is if I had to guess, this has probably gone out of print from Warner Brothers and come back as a Warner Archive release because they don't always keep these things in print, but they do bring them back on demand. I'm just speculating. Listen, I just walked in the door from these thrift stores. I don't have a scanner and a computer program on my phone. I don't scan for value. I'm buying for myself. Some of this stuff may end up on eBay eventually if I watch and I'm like, I'm not sure I want this. I'll pass it on via eBay because there's a Cereal at Midnight store. It's coming. It's coming, you guys. I don't buy for value, but that tends to be what I notice for this is that Warner Brothers discs do eventually go out of print, but when Warner Brothers does a great job of keeping things in print, but sometimes that means burned on demand. So, all right, what else? This is the belle of the ball. I think this is the biggest value from the whole collection, and we'll see. But this is the one that I could not believe it was here. It was the North and the South, the complete collection. This is the 8-disc version. Yes, that's Patrick Swayze. This was a mini-series event. This was a huge event in the 80s, early 1986. This is all 3 books, North and South, Love and War, and Heaven and Hell, and yes, $1.99. Now, this has come down in price since I last checked because I did look this up while I was in the store because I was like, this is crazy. It was going for like $40 or $50. That's the last time I checked. On Amazon, this is down to like $12.97 or something like that. Like, it's really, really cheap now for 8 discs. So if you don't have this and you don't have access to the kind of thrift store deals that I often find, it's only like $13 brand new for 8 DVDs. And I think this is the kind of thing, you guys, this is, again, Warner Brothers. I don't know about a Warner Brothers, because it would have to be a box set, right? I don't know if Warner Brothers will keep this in print when this goes out of print. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I could not believe that because I thought that was just... I'm having a hard time getting into this bag. I just thought that was an incredible deal. The Odd Couple Season 2, still sealed, has not been opened. It's still got the plastic wrap and the anti-theft security, aka the annoying sticker on the top. This is Season 2, and it was $1.99 as well. So now the job becomes go find Season 1. But, I mean, you guys, I could not believe that this thing not only was there, but that it hadn't even been opened. And like we talked about, this for $2, you know, $2 for a DVD at a thrift store is not great. But more and more, I'm telling you guys, I'm seeing $3. I'm seeing $3.99 now at some thrift stores. The valley has come and gone, and now we are ascending back up again. So to find something like this for $2 and it still be sealed, I was pretty happy with that. And of course, The Odd Couple, one of the great 70s. This is the 70s, right? Yeah, 71 to 72. So I guess the first season, 70 to 71. Just great stuff. And $2? So now the job becomes fine. Season 1. How many other seasons did that get? I'm not sure. See, no research. Just walked in the door. I grabbed Date Night on Blu-ray, $1.99. This is Steve Carell and Tina Fey. Never seen it. I like both of them. I know there's a lot of Tina Fey haters out there. I actually like her. I will say that I did not always like her. I used to be very irritated by her. And I'm not sure what it is that triggered me. It certainly isn't women in power, because I actually, like, not to give you too much of a of a snapshot of my psyche, but like I'm into that. I'm into like strength and stuff. I think that's really cool. There was something about it. Maybe it was something I perceived as a smugness. I think that's it. I think that there was a smugness. But you know what? Smugness and comedians, they go hand in hand. That's like a quality you have to have, it seems like, to be a comedian. You have to have that thick skin, and you have to believe in yourself no matter what. So I don't know, whatever. Maybe I'll cut this out because I don't like being negative. But I didn't love Tina Fey. Meanwhile, watched the complete series of 30 Rock. Now I really like Tina Fey quite a bit, and I'm interested in most of the other stuff that she's done too. So pick this up for $1.99. It does have, see, this is not going to matter anymore, but remember when they used to give you the digital copy on a DVD and you had to put it in your computer and like put the code in? This is useless now. You had to put the code in, and it would spin the disc, and then it would burn. Like, what weird technology. Thank goodness we have more. I'm not crazy about streaming, but thank goodness we have better means of doing that than that. Also, another new disc, the Glen Miller story with, do I do this? Oh, it's James Stewart. I was in a movie about Glen Miller, the big band leader. We've talked about this before. James Stewart would go on Johnny Carson and read poetry, and then he read one about the passing of his dog, and it just like made the whole audience, like the studio audience, is just like and it had to cut to a commercial break. But I'll always remember when he bring me my slippers. James Stewart, June Allison. Who directed this? This is Anthony Mann. Oh snap, you guys. Anthony Mann. I'm all about me some Anthony Mann these days. He keeps coming up over and over and over again here at C at M. Why did I say it like that? It's Cereal at Midnight. Still sealed, $1.99. Again, I'm not wild about $2 for a DVD, but they're new, or that one's new. So what else do we have in here? Okay, this is part of a piece. Let me find the other one of these. So I'm going to put that aside for right now. CD. I just pulled out a CD. Let's talk about the CD. Kool and the Gang, Emergency. I really like Kool and the Gang. You will know them from such hits as Celebration, Celebrate Good Times, Come On. What are some of the oh my goodness. All right, I really like Kool and the Gang because I'm presenting to you right now. My brain, this is what happens. Like my brain is on a train track and I can't easily switch the train track because I'm in engage mode. I'm not in think mode. I'm in engage mode. This has a song called Fresh. I really like Fresh. She's fresh. This is Fair Use, YouTube. Exciting. Exciting and new. Fair Use. We're talking about Kool and the Gang. Stop it, YouTube. This is where we are at with this. This was $2, which I think is, again, that's Telling you guys, the low has come and gone. Cherish. This has Cherish on it as well. This was like their 80s. I want to say maybe their 80s comeback. Jungle Boogie. That's Kool and the Gang, right? From Pulp Fiction. Anyway, I have a Kool and the Gang greatest hits. I want to get more. This is the step towards that. So, that helps. Okay, here's the other piece of this. This is going to be frustrating because it's not complete, but it's like it could be. We have Ed Sullivan's Rock and Roll Classics Volume 1 and Ed Sullivan's Rock and Roll Classics Volume 3. The odds that someone donated Volume 1 and Volume 3 but not Volume 2, pretty slim. I suspect Volume 2 is there somewhere, but I combed, you guys. I scoured for Volume 2, and alas, it was not to be. But there's really good things on here. Maybe there's like a Volume 4 and a 5. Maybe this is a 14-volume series. Again, no research, just walked in the door. But there's fantastic things on here. Volume 1, Elvis Presley, Don't Be Cruel from 1956. The Beatles, All My Lovin'. The Beach Boys, Windy. The Doors, Light My Fire. Get out of town. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son. James Brown, It's a Man's World. The Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. The Beach Boys, I Get Around. The Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin'. The Four Seasons, Petula Clark. Tommy James and the Shondells. That's how I have to say that, because in one, I think it's in the Beatles anthology. It might be in the Complete Beatles documentary from the 80s. George says that he likes Tommy James and the Shondells. And so I like Tommy James as well, but I can't just say Tommy James. I have to say it like George. Crimson and Clover. Okay, the Four Tops, the Jackson 5, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder doing For Once in My Life, the Temptations. Come on, people. Do you feel it? Stand up and shout. Stand up and clap your hands. We're gonna have church here in the middle of the thrift store video. Volume 3, The Beatles, She Loves You, The Animals, House of the Rising Sun, Rolling Stones, Have You Seen Your Mother? Standing in the... Have you seen... Okay. The Rolling Stones... Herman's Hermits, The Searchers, Jerry and the Pacemakers, The Animals, doing... We Gotta Get Out of This Place, Jefferson Airplane, Crown of Creation, Santana, Janis Joplin, Creedence doing Down on the Corner, Sly and the Family Stone doing 2 songs, Everyday People and Dance to the Music, Mamas and the Papas, Little Anthony and the Imperials from 1965, The Carpenters, Smokey Robinson, The Beatles, and Elvis Presley closing it out with Love Me Tender. Come on! This is rock and roll history on the Ed Sullivan Show. So the search begins for Volume 3. No, for Volume 2. And to see what else is out there. This is one that I was debating, because I know there was a Blu-ray, and I'd rather have the Blu-ray, and I don't have it. But I was like, you know what? You start here, and if you see the Blu-ray... Because we're talking about the Garbage Pail Kids movie. And so I know there was a Blu-ray for this. I know the DVD is not super... I think it's out of print. It's not super scarce or expensive. I think there's one on Amazon for like $12 or something like that. But it was it was $2. Let me show you guys the back of the package. As you can imagine, Garbage Pail Kids in the 80s for me were not... That was a no-no. I was not allowed to mess with the Garbage Pail Kids. But everybody that did, I was really... See how clean this is? It's like it's never been watched. Everybody that did, I was a little jelly. I got a little jelly of all the Garbage Pail Kids collections that I saw going around. So this is... Maybe this one's for 80s Heath. This is for childhood... What is going on? This is for childhood 80s Heath, who wanted Garbage Pail Kids, but was a little afraid of them at the same time because they were just so dark. This was cool, and there's a little bit of a story. This is a Mill Creek 2-disc version of Hey Vern, It's Ernest from the 80s. I loved this series in the 80s when I was a kid. I felt so. Okay, let's see what year. This is 1988. The overwhelming success of Ernest Goes to Camp in 1987. Ernest Mania was in full force. The lovable Southern bumpkin, a familiar face until... Was he Southern bumpkin? I thought he was more kind of Midwestern. Didn't he come from, like, Nebraska or something like that? He became a familiar face in the 80s. And it was time for a stint on television with Hey Vern, It's Ernest. So this was a Saturday morning kids show Don't stand on the records, cat. We have a cat here that wants to stand on records. Jim Varney, who created the Ernest P. Worrell character, stars in this imaginative Saturday morning cartoons kids program composed of a series of live-action comedy sketches. Each show follows a particular weekly theme, such as I'm going to talk about outer space. That was terrible. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. The only thing I can do that's Ernest related is kind of like, I can do that. Hey Vern, it's Ernest has been compared to other live-action kids shows like You Can't Do That on Television and Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yes, to Pee-wee's Playhouse. This was very much a kindred spirit to Pee-wee's Playhouse. This is all 13 episodes on 2 DVDs for $2. So that was great. I think this is out of print, but I could be wrong. We have an issue. I don't know if this is going to show up. Yeah, it shows up. There's a circular... There it is. Look at the circular... You can see more media in the reflection. There's a circular scratch that goes all the way around. I think it's faint enough that it'll read without any problems. If it doesn't, maybe I can buff it. Maybe there's options, but I'm sorry, turn it around this way. I have $2 in it, so it's not a huge loss if it doesn't play. But golly gee, I hope it does. I think we're down to our last DVD, and it's a really cool one. Also for $2, that's the theme. Nothing was more than $2. Remington Steel, the complete first season. That is right. Pure Pierce Brosnan, pre-Bond. I don't know what else to say about that. It's Pierce Brosnan. It's Remington Steel. How many seasons of this got a DVD release? Are they all on DVD? Haven't checked. Just walked in the door. I'm really excited about having this on DVD. Listen, when I was a kid, there were certain shows that were kind of appointment television. This came on. It came on one night, like when we were at church, and when we'd get home sometimes early enough to catch Remington Steel in the 80s. What year was it? 82? 1982. So I have distant memories of this. This is something I have not caught up with as an adult, but I mean, come on, man. Pierce Brosnan is the coolest, and I love 80s television. Maybe someone can put out a complete series of this on DVD or Blu-ray. Let's see, 20th Century Fox. Well, that's Disney now, so the odds of that happening. People have, like, I think Mill Creek has a deal with Disney. Kino Lorber maybe at one point had a deal with Disney. I'm not sure if they still do. It's possible. I'd love to have an affordable Blu-ray version of Remington Steel. Guys, records. I love me some records. You guys know how I do. And this is going to be... There's some... All right, just hold on. Buckle up. Conway Twitty. This is his greatest hits. This is the Golden Archive series. Now, all these records were $2. Again, it's a little bit high, but I'm finding now the average... like bottom price for vinyl is $3. The days of 50, I talk about how I used to go after high school, like I'd get out at 3 or 3:15 and I'd swing by the thrift store on my way home, and we're talking about like 59-cent vinyl, 99-cent vinyl. I guess if we translate that from 90s prices to today prices, it's about $2. So but it's getting harder and harder to find $2 vinyl. It's mostly $3, $4, or $5. This is Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty was a under his real... I can't remember his real name. Heath, if you remember, put his real name right here. Conway Twitty was his artist's name. But he was a Sun Records guy, and I am a Sun Records guy. Elvis was a Sun Records guy. Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Jerry Lee Lewis... so many of the greats came through Memphis with Sun Records. Conway Twitty was one of those guys. So some of the songs on here are kind of Sun era song. Mona Lisa, that's a Sun Records song. So this thing looks really good. This has the original. We won't do this for all of them, but they're dirty. I don't know, like they need to be cleaned. But the thing is, like, you can clean a dirty record. I've gotten really good at cleaning dirty records. I got the spin clean kind of system. Maybe one day I'll go all in on the vacuum cleaner. Not a vacuum. It's abort. Okay. I got the Spinners live. I really like the Spinners. This was also $2. I didn't even look to see what this had. I just checked the records to see how they looked, and they look really good. What's a track listing for this? Let's see. Gonna name the hits for you guys. Could it be a Falling in Love? You guys know that one. Oh, here's a Superstar medley. It's Not Unusual, Don't Mess with Bill, Paper Doll, Stop in the Name of Love, Hello Dolly, and Hound Dog. Okay. I'll Be Around. I don't see that's the Spinners, right? Yeah, I don't see that one on here. Well, anyway, it's Sweet Spinners. I got a Spinners digital collection off Amazon. You know, I'm not super into digital, as we've established, but it was like all of the Spinners albums on a certain like their big label stuff. It was like 13 albums, and it was like $9.99. So I downloaded it, I backed it up again, and I've got like most of the Spinners discography. I was super happy to find this, The Best of Sonny and Cher. Look at the cover, man. This is a super cool cover, kind of trippy, kind of awesome. Unfortunately, I do not buy scratched vinyl. I don't buy vinyl to look at. I buy vinyl to listen to. I am a collector, but I listen to my vinyl. I'm an active listener. This, unfortunately, does have a scratch on one side that probably will prevent play. But I'm kind of all in on these Sonny and Cher albums now, and I've found so many of them that I had to give it a shot. Here is, I don't know if it's going to show up for you guys. Yeah, there it is right there. Probably, it's definitely going to be audible. It might cause some skipping, but this thing is filthy, so I got to clean it anyway. But listen, the beat goes on. I've Got You, Babe. It's The Little Things. I like that one a lot. We've talked about Sonny and Cher in the past. I don't have to tell you guys again. Hopefully you guys are digging into the backlog. Let me say that, because I know a lot of, like, we get new subscribers, again, like hundreds of new subscribers every single month. Please check out the backlog. If you're relying on YouTube to suggest videos for you, that is unreliable, because they're only going to suggest the things that benefit YouTube. And we've covered hundreds of videos. We've gone to so many deep dives. YouTube is not going to suggest those videos for you. Please subscribe and go explore I've made so many playlists for you guys. There's like dozens of playlists. So you don't even have to do any work. You just go and there's all these organized playlists. But dig into our back catalog, because like we've covered so much stuff here. And I really don't think, if you watch thrift store videos and you hit thumbs up on a thrift store video, then YouTube's just going to suggest more thrift store videos for you. But we've covered so much, like we will not be pigeonholed. We're all over the place. So I was really excited about this. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. This is the full 2-disc, 2 LP version with, this is not attached. This is the booklet it's not a booklet. It's just a full-on book. It's got some damage here. It's got some, I don't know if this is maybe water damage or like a rat got into it or something. I don't know. It's got a little bit of damage on it, but it's complete. And the idea, the odds that this would still be in this record all these years later, and that the record would be $2, is just kind of incredible. This is one of, he won a Grammy for this, if I remember correctly. This is like Stevie Wonder's big critical success, his big commercial success. I like some of his older stuff. Listen, I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan, but Music of My Mind is one of my favorite Stevie Wonder albums. Okay, on that note, Quincy Jones, what's it called? The Dude. Now this thing doesn't look like it's ever been listened to. If you need to be sold on Quincy Jones, isn't first of all, superstar producer, produced Michael Jackson like crazy. Like so many of Michael Jackson's hits, Quincy Jones like helped write them, and he talks now that Michael Jackson's dead. I'm not trying to get in any controversy, but he'll talk now about how a lot of those ideas were his, but Michael Jackson took credit for them, and that he'd be like, "Oh, I've been wanting to do this all the time," and he's like, "No, I gave you that. What are you doing?" Not Stevie Wonder. Quincy Jones, fantastic producer. This is, I'm excited to check this out. The Austin Powers music, I believe that's Quincy Jones. Didn't he do that? So, real cool guy, and I really like him. And he gave us Rashida Jones, right? And Rashida Jones, Ugh, I love Rashida Jones. Parks and Recreation. Rashida Jones forever. The Manhattans. I know nothing about this. This is a gamble. It's 1976 and it is on Columbia. So I don't know. It looks, if it's funky, if it's got soul to it, then I got my money's worth. And it looks really good. This is another one of those that doesn't look... Some of these are dirty and they're worse for wear. This one looked really good. So maybe that's a sign of the quality. Maybe it's not... Maybe they didn't listen to it a lot because it wasn't very good. This is the last record, you guys. And then this is actually the last item for the whole haul. And again, I know nothing about it, but it looked fun. So it's... Let's Twist Her from Bill Black's combo. So this is going to be jazzy mixed with early 60s pop. I want to find like a year, but they don't really put years on these earlier albums. It's oh, hold up. Let's do this. Yeah. I didn't get to see that, but I hope it looked as cool as I expected it to. Bill Black doing twist. You know, there's a twist and say there's a label in the UK that put out like a whole 2 or 3 disc set of nothing but twist songs because it was such a phenomenon in the early 60s. It's an album because everybody came, you know, the twist, it was Chubby Checkers, the twist. And then there's Let's Twist Again, like we did last summer. But then like dozens and dozens of songs that name check the twist. So I'm trying to see, this is the Bill Black combo, New York at the famous Round Table Club. I don't know. I can't wait to, it looks pretty good. It's a little bit, let me see it again. Oh, this is right. This is, so it's got these marks on it. This is like crayon. You can see like it comes off if you really rub on it. So I'm going to thoroughly clean this. I may get out the alcohol. I don't recommend taking a lot of harsh alcohol to your records, but in the case like this, if it's like, well, you never get to listen to it unless you try to clean it with alcohol, I'm gonna try a few things and we'll see what happens. Guys, Thrift Store 24 out the door. 24 of these thrift store videos, a testament to what is out there for those that are diligent, for those that are patient, for those who are constantly checking. Listen, this has been a long time coming. I have not had good luck at the thrift stores lately. It's been very frustrating, and to walk in and see Johnny Scanner Scalper, that was really discouraging. So that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with this being like what we do for love, for us to find things. We're dealing with it now being a business for people, and that's pretty lousy. But if we're diligent, look, Scanner guy was there. I still came up with all of this stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me and talking about some thrift store goods, taking a deep dive into the treasures of the past. I love this stuff. Hopefully you love this stuff as well. Hopefully, you know, I know what I buy is probably not what you're interested in buying, but it is kind of just, again, it's a testament to what's out there if you look hard enough and if you're patient. So guys, thanks so much. Take care. And until next time, I will catch you later.